Okay. Should be good. Yep. Audio's good. I can't remember if it happened last time, but the audio shot up to 100 as soon as I started. Just wanted to make sure that didn't happen again. How you guys doing? It was funny. As soon as I turned on the welcome screen, like, oh, starting soon, that means it's going to start in like 30 seconds. And I saw so many people like, no, god damn it. I got to wait longer. Nah, it's not going to take that long. There we go. Ooh, Candles just died for a second, but she's good now. What am I talking about today? I've got a list of topics. There's been some interesting stuff recently. Let's see, let's get my sound out of here. There we go. Get over to my topics. Yeah, we got several stuff. Audio is just a touch loud. I am a little bit close to my microphone, so maybe I'll turn it down just a little bit. Unless you meant the music. It might be the music. Welcome, though. Yeah, as always, you guys gotta let me know how the audio is. No matter how good I get at streaming, I'm always gonna ask you that. Because I don't trust myself. My Blue Yeti is probably 5 or 6 years old at this point, at least. Because I think I got it first year of college, so it's probably about 4 or 5 years old. And the wire... I've actually had the wire for the headphone longer than the headphone itself. And I've had that wire for probably about 10 years. So it's hanging on by a thread. And sometimes if you bump it while you're using it, it'll disconnect and reset the microphone to its default audio input, which for some reason is 100. And it sounds completely blown out. Now, whoever the next person asks me if I played Silksong yet is getting banned. Not really, but I've gotten so many goddamn questions about that. Rufus, don't ban them if they ask. I don't play... You know what? Maybe that'll be the next stream. No promises, but maybe just so everybody will shut up about it. Maybe I'll play Silksong. As always, got my cream soda here. Let me actually pull up the one that I've got today, because it's a bit different. It's not mug root beer. You're going to hear my click-clacking typing sounds. I got this cream soda. It's not that good, but it's the cheapest cream soda that I could find. And of course, it's a web page file, which means I have to open up Photoshop on stream. Lovely. I need to ditch Photoshop for something else. I need an alternative because I'm trying to kick Adobe in general. I know I'm not the only one trying to do that. There's something we could talk about today. I mean, if you guys have any yapping topics given to me, because, you know, I don't have a limit for how long I need to go today, so. But I will tell you that Adobe can suck my balls. As they always can. Alright. Yeah, don't use Adobe, whatever you do. This is the cream soda I've got with me today. Mine's not quite this big. Audio's still going. Okay, just making sure. My audio cut out, and I was like, huh? Let's talk about bad movies. Actually, we do have on the ticket today, I am going to talk about some movies. So, hey, Mijo. D-Dash. You got a whole site to recommend? I got some words for you, D-Dash, but we can talk about that on Patreon. It's okay. It's fine. We'll talk about it later. But we do need to talk, though, whenever you get a minute. So, yeah, you specifically. Echo Not. Why do you have two names? Well, I could talk about that for a second. They say, you could talk about how editing might be different for you compared to other creators and the challenges you face. That's a really good question. I don't want to talk about myself too much because I've been doing that a lot lately and it feels a little selfish. But I will say this. I'm right in the middle of editing the next video and it's taken me at least a week. I haven't put out anything since the last time we had the live stream last Thursday, and it's coming along really well. I've been giving out some small updates on Patreon, nothing too big because I don't want to give away too many details yet, but I've been hearing your guys' asking for longer videos, and I haven't done a long one in a while, really since the soda era, which was a couple months ago. I've been hitting the 15-minute mark recently, and it's just because I've been trying different stuff. I don't want to invest too much time into something that I don't know for sure is going to work. You got an ad? Oof. Sorry about that. You can probably scrub back if you missed. Basically, I was just saying, the next video is longer, and this video especially, I wrote it so that it would be engaging all the way throughout, and the editing quality doesn't drop off after a while, which sometimes that happens to my videos, but I've been trying to be better about it. There's a change coming in YouTube. With the emergence of all this AI slop, and people, especially me, really turning my back on some of the slop news channels that I'd follow. We'll get into that later this stream too, but I foresee a future on YouTube about a year from now where people watch YouTube way, way less than they are now, because of the AI stuff that they've been doing and that they've been promoting. People will still watch YouTube, but only the stuff that's really long, 3-hour edited video essays. It's the same thing with people are still going to the movies, but only for a Superman or a Spider-Man. Something that they know is going to be really thought out and good. Or something that they know, I guess. With those movies. Jurassic World, I guess. Not a great movie, but they still went to see it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, yeah, de-slopify as much as possible, because the future of YouTube, slop is not gonna fly. Yeah, it's not gonna be good. Chris, I do plan on doing that. I haven't done that yet, just because I'm afraid of misspeaking. The last video I did where I mentioned the trans community, someone ratioed me hard in the comments, which is fair. If I make a mistake, I want to know. But they were really mean about it. And I guess it put me off, and I haven't really done... That's not to tie that to the trans community or say that's representative of everybody. Most trans people I've met have been really cool about people misusing pronouns or getting something wrong, because I haven't experienced that. But it is something that I want to be really careful about. And yeah. But I will. Damaso says, have you noticed the huge rise of those I'm a loser channels? Honestly, yeah. And for that reason, the last video I did about it's hard to be a man, I'm not going to do one of those for a while after this, because it makes me depressed to make those kinds of videos, and I don't want to be a doomer. That video wasn't too depressing, but the thumbnail certainly made you believe it was going to be. And I want to be positive. Now I want to scroll up a little bit. Harmony Links, I want to read this. I loved your Why I'm Proud to Be a Man video. Sounds silly, but it kind of made me realize how as a woman, I've been biased against men in terms of emotions and feelings. Well, we appreciate you for saying that. There's always gonna be people out there who are gonna call you a pick-me and a this and a that, but honestly, I think us guys in the chat right now just love to hear that somebody is supporting, we've said it before and we'll say it again. Having support for men's issues and just calling for some support for some men who are really struggling right now doesn't mean that you're ignoring women's issues or any other issue. It's just something that, doesn't get a lot of focus, and it's awkward to talk about for men. The only reason that we really have to try and get outside help is because men are really bad at solving this problem themselves, clearly. So I'm not super proud of that video anyway. It was made right after the docs and my head was in a weird space. I basically boiled down being a man to some really basic concepts, blanket concepts that aren't really true. Like, we can take a joke, or, you know, basic stuff like that isn't representative of all men. So I'm not super proud of that video, but I'm glad that you liked it. Yeah. The one thing I do stand by that I said in that video is pizza, beer, and a project. It'll still work, no matter what you're doing. So yeah, that's what we're trying to do here. One of the main topics that I wanted to talk about today, and if you have an idea for a topic, just keep saying it. I'll keep reading it. I'm still reading the chat while I'm talking. One of the main topics I wanted to get into today is... Crap, I lost it. I just lost it. Hang on. There's a couple things. Yeah, the main thing. So, after the last week's stream, I took quitting social media to an entirely next level. I went so far as to completely remove the YouTube homepage from my phone. The bookmark that I had for the YouTube homepage, I've had it for years in the same place. I removed it. And what I replaced it with is YouTube Music. So instead of watching YouTube videos all day, no matter what I'm doing, which is just distracting, generally, I've been saying, okay, I'm only going to watch YouTube from the subscriptions tab, which I've never done before, and I'm only going to do it after like 8 p.m. for 1 hour maximum. And it's been a lot better. Like, clearing my head during the day and making me feel good. Ever since I've done that, I've wanted to go out and exercise more because I found some music that I forgot about. And just not seeing all of those, like the person in the chat just said, there's been a lot of I'm a loser videos recently. And I started to fall down the rabbit hole of wanting to feel bad for yourself and not do anything to fix it kind of stuff. And I've gotten into music again. And that honestly was a big step. It was just as equally as healthy as quitting Discord was quitting the daily watch of YouTube, just the manufacturing of content, and getting back into music. And yeah, it all it took was just getting rid of the YouTube homepage from my bookmarks. That's it. I never used the app. But now, when I get off the stream tonight, I'll probably go to my TV, click on my subscriptions tab, go through anything that's new, and if there's nothing new, I'll just go to bed. And it's a hard habit to kick, getting on YouTube instead of just listening to music. I've been allowing podcasts because you can listen to that through YouTube Music, but only when I work out. And maybe in the morning when I'm getting my coffee ready or something. Where are my clothes at? Well, you can thank the people who modeled this, which they are really nice, and it turned out awesome, by the way. They didn't model her any clothes, so this is what you get. Epic Memes 89. I'm going to have to look at that because we've only been going for 15 minutes, and I've seen 2 ads. And that seems excessive. I had this stream set to the lowest number of ads possible, but maybe it got switched around? Let me check. Distribution everywhere, certification, monetization. It's on frequency low. So I don't know why you guys are getting so many ads. Typical, right? Typical YouTube. I've been watching the stream on myself and I haven't gotten one yet. I believe how it works is you're not guaranteed to get an ad, but every so often you might have a chance of getting it. So you might have just gotten unlucky. Mustard Boy, nice to see you. I saw you in the chat before the stream. So I'm glad you found your way here. I think that was you. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe you were talking about something else. But anyways, I remember your username. And your pregnant Clippy profile picture. Echonaut, I think that's on Twitch. When you do it on YouTube live stream, as long as you're doing it like not through something else, it's just a button for low, medium, or high frequency, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's a slider. Why did the name Lavender Coffee not stick? Asks Epic Memes again. It was sticking, and then I got doxxed. So, yeah. Dosage? How do you feel about the 1 of 5 YouTube ads? God, are they trying those? Here's the next topic. That's a great segue. So one of the things I have is NordVPN, and I had to get it after the docs. I have to keep bringing up the docs, but it's the linchpin for so much lore of the channel, why things are the way they are. I have to. But thank you, 8Ball. I appreciate that. I had to get NordVPN, and I didn't know that NordVPN, by default, gave you an ad blocker. It didn't work. I still got ads all the time on YouTube. But I guess going to websites, maybe I got less ads, like articles. Maybe. But then I kept getting this notification from YouTube, and it said, "You're using an ad blocker. We will shut off video player for you." And I didn't know if that meant we're going to shut down your channel or what. And I didn't know that NordVPN automatically turned on their ad blocker. I didn't even know I had an ad blocker. And I kept saying like, "No, it's not true. I'm not using an ad blocker." And I kept sending them like I'm not. And then they would never get back to me. And it said like 2 videos left until we punish you, basically. And they didn't ask for ID verification, thank God, any part of this process. I haven't had to yet. This stream is not sponsored by any of those, Mijo. But anyway, so what I had to do before I found out that Nord was giving me an ad blocker, I was like, I can't, I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to delete my channel? What's going to happen? So what I ended up having to do was, I'm ashamed to admit it, but I caved in, and I just freaking bought YouTube Premium. Nord has an ad blocker by default, I think. And I didn't want to get YouTube Premium. I hated the idea of giving my money to YouTube and having to pay for it. But that's what I had to do. And that was what got me on YouTube Music, and that's what started that whole chain of events. But YouTube Premium's like $15 a month, which is kind of expensive. It's more expensive than a streaming service just not to get ads. But I have to say, it is really nice not having ads. If this is what we have to do to get YouTube to stop with the invasive ads, then I guess it's what we have to do. I saw a metric last night that YouTube makes up for 12% of like all views. That includes live TV of any channel, any streaming service. YouTube is 12 entire percent of that market. There's a lot of us just watching YouTube and nothing else, basically. And if you have to pay for only one streaming service, YouTube, then I guess I'm going to pay for YouTube. I don't know. It is more expensive than Netflix, and it sucks that it's that expensive. But at least they have a plan. They're one of the few quote-unquote streaming services that has a plan where you can buy it for like 6 people, and it's only like $25. So you could get 5 of your friends on it. I know there's alternative ways, but I'm not smart enough to know how to do that. And you got to keep in mind, right now, all YouTubers are in a spot where they really have to play good with YouTube, or risk being completely shut down in the algorithm game. So unfortunately, you have to really get on their good side, and getting YouTube Premium is just one of those ways. Yeah. Aerithist, you're completely right, but also I think it's inevitable that with YouTube's monopoly on this kind of content, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be Netflix too. I think I just saw where Disney Plus was toying around with the idea of putting creator-made videos on Disney Plus. I haven't looked into that at all, but I think somebody mentioned that, and I think that's happening right now. So people are trying to copy YouTube's success. Yeah, Cookie Mage, you're right. The only way to get rid of that is to get rid of their monopoly. But the FCC isn't doing their job, so that's a government issue. If YouTube didn't have a monopoly, so many problems would be fixed that are happening right now. Hey Marsh, what's up? Narfed, you're eating dinner? What are you eating? Cookie Mage, you say you've got them on Amazon Prime? That must be that must be what they were talking about, Amazon Prime. That's strange. Video games, Chris, I don't really have a lot of opinions on video games. You guys know what games I play. Portal, Half-Life. I was just playing Black Mesa before the stream. I love the Valve games. Maybe I'm just gonna have to freaking buy a Silk Song so you guys will stop talking about it. Now people are talking about Skate 4. Fan of Feet... Oh, okay, I can't believe I said that out loud. Fan of Feet 2 asks, we're gonna do this like VeggieTales. Oh, I need a graphic like that. Like, it plays the... And God said, a video about fetishes on the second channel? I have stayed away from fetishes for the most part because YouTube really, really doesn't like it. But maybe one day. Inktober. I never do Inktober, Alaboy, but I have been drawing more lately. Excuse me. One of the other things I wanted to talk about this stream was... Last stream was a drawing improvement stream. And... yeah, you did get me. And since last week, I did the ritual again. If you know, you know. And it was a really, really good one. I actually got a lot done and did a lot of improvements. And I started drawing hands, and I'm getting really good at it, honestly. You're going to start seeing more hands and better drawn hands in Candle's art, hopefully soon. The next thing I got to do is arms, but in terms of hands and the torso, I got better at that last time. After that stream, Saturday night, I did the ritual and was really, really productive. So that's all I'll say. But that is to say, I'm getting better. And one of the... yeah, I haven't tried hands yet, but it's one of the things that I've been meaning to get to. One of the ideas that I've had today is one of the projects that might be coming down the pipeline sooner rather than later is I really kind of want to write a book. That's one of the things that YouTubers do when they're like washed up. But I have an idea for a book. It would be a book about like a sex education book. It would be something like that. But I would make it very stylized in my own art style. I wouldn't have a problem with writing it. I'm pretty good at writing, I think. It would require some proofreading from some other people and learning how to write in different, not like YouTube script writing, but Joy Wolf, what's up? Danny? I don't even know how I would go about doing that, getting a book written, but I can just see it now, like chapter 1, boobs. And you just have like the freaking boob candles that I'll pull up right now in case you haven't seen this picture. This is kind of an old meme on my channel. It's the profile picture for the Patreon right now. It's just a joke. I did this for one video that's on the Coretta's channel now. Imagine this on the cover of the book. Like, it would just be so funny. And you don't get books like that. Like sex education books that are genuinely like not just medical information, but about sex culture and internet porn written by like a young person. I just think that we don't have any books like that. And I could actually like write funny jokes in it. I could make it funny. Because the thing about sex ed that I've learned is you can't teach it in school. It doesn't work. Almost ever. Because nobody wants to have that conversation with somebody they know, like a parent or an educator. So people are going to learn about sex through things like the internet. And you might as well learn from somebody actually trying to give you good information, rather than just porn, which is how I learned. So, I don't know. I even had this idea of, on the front page of the book, I would include somehow, I'd get the manufacturer to include like an extra sleeve for the book, and the sleeve is just another cover that says like quantum mechanics. So you can slip it over the front page of the book so that you can read it in public and people don't know what you're reading. Because it would be embarrassing to read a book called like Sex or something. I think that'd be kind of funny. I don't know. Once I get a little better at art and a little more consistent, I could write and draw for an entire book. I just don't know the process that it would take to get that made. But it would be a way. I've been looking for ways to get this whole sex education, but it's more about sex culture written from the perspective of a young person, from a straight guy. I've been looking for ways to take that idea outside of YouTube. But that might be one of the ways. Yeah, like, make a fake cover included with the book that's just the most boring words you could ever think of. Quantum mechanics, and the space between the third and seventh dimensions, or something like that. Just sounds totally boring. Hey, there's Petrichor. I haven't stopped thinking about your name since last week, because I just wish I came up with that name for like a character or something. You think that sex addiction in particular is something that too much of society considers taboo or problematic to talk about? I appreciate what you do. Well, thank you. Cookie Mage, yeah, it is hard to get accurate proportions. That's the thing. An incognito sleeve would just be too distracting. Ooh, Andrew. Andrew donates. Just making sure you weren't actually a bot. How much would cost you for some clothes to put on the streaming model? Don't want to lose you only because YouTube had a problem. I think if I keep it here, I'm probably going to be fine. The thing is, I didn't make the model, so I can't make the clothes for it. And I don't have the contacts on Discord of the people who made it. But if they come out to me and they come out with a suit version, I definitely would. Otherwise, if I get hit from YouTube like a strike or something, first they would give me a strike. And what I would do is I would just crop it so it's just the head. It would look kind of weird, but I'd have to do that. Yeah, so I'm going to look into actually writing a book. I don't even think it would take that long to make. Narfhead, their names are in the description. They're on Discord. It's Magicloaf and Frachenko was their names, I believe. I don't know how much they want their names actually out there, but I know they're okay with me saying those names. So, yeah. If that happens where I get hit from YouTube, then I'll have to change it, but right now I think it's fine. Ooh, somebody brought up sex addiction earlier on. Was it you, Petrichor? Yeah. Sex addiction is one I've been wanting to get to because it sounds like something, but it's really something else. And I know with sex addiction, when people see sex addiction, the words sex addiction, they think, oh, that means I'm addicted to sex. If I think about sex, I have sex addiction. That's not what it means. Sex addiction, it's like an actual diagnosed thing. Just having a passing thought about sex is normal. Chu Chan Shell. Hopefully I didn't just say a bad word in another language. I actually don't have Discord anymore. I apologize. And Yeah, if you want some drawing advice, or you want to give me drawing advice, go ahead and send it in this chat and I can read it back later. Or you can join on Patreon for free and you can send it to me for free. But I don't have Discord anymore, unfortunately. Someone started a dono chain. You guys don't have to give me money. Willie Goat, thank you. But I appreciate Chu Chan Chell. Every time I say that, it sounds like the other word that sounds like that. But thank you. I'm always going to be looking for more drawing advice. I don't draw the same way most people do. If you know the ritual, that's how I do that. Yeah, reach out to me. You can join it for free. It doesn't take any sign up or anything. Shouldn't. It's just you can start messaging me on Patreon. Candles 80085. He's a squid. Porn addiction? Oh, porn addiction. Yeah. Porn addiction is definitely a thing that a lot of people kind of have. Ape Thunder, I would definitely recommend it. It's... Yeah, Epic. Yeah, do not give me money. Seriously. You guys do not need to give me money. If you can sign up for the Patreon, I will love you forever, but I will never hold it against you if you can't. Not right now, with this economy. Yeah, we have a chat there. So, the community is on Patreon, really. I'm going to get into... We've been going for about 32 minutes. We've actually been very efficient with this stream so far. Yeah, Cookie Mage. No one's ever pointed it out, but my username is candles80085. Just cuz. I'm going to actually get into the next topic I wanted to get into that I promised at the top of this stream, which is the movies. The movies. Oh, Ape Thunder with 5? Why? Oh god, there's chain happening. Thank you, Ape Thunder, for the $5. I don't know what your why was in reference to, or if you're just being funny about don't donate. Maybe that's the secret. I just say, donate, and then nobody does. You guys just do the opposite of what I say. Adderall. That's a good name. Hey, Candles, just popping in to say hi and thank you for making amazing videos. Well, thank you. Wait, give me a second here. Thank you guys for the donations. You do not need to donate, seriously. There we go. How much money am I making on Patreon? I don't know if that's I don't know if that's public information. Right now I'm making about 400, but it goes up and down with the week. So, hey Livius. Livius, I want you, if you can, type in the chat. I don't know where you are right now, but how's your channel going? Let me actually look up your channel right now. Because I haven't checked in on your channel in a little bit, admittedly. Hang on. Whoa, I'm crashing out. I'm tweaking. Aerithist? Yeah, I've been cultivating it for as long as I can, and as much as I can. But I never want to rely on Patreon. Hang on, I'm adding something to my OBS right now. You see this channel? Go sub to this channel right now. Everybody in here. I've known Livius for a little while, and he's a really good YouTuber. He's kind of that quintessential YouTuber that they just make what they want to make, and they get better every time. So, yeah, he's at 224 subs right now. Go sub. Fan of feet, I'm going to have to say your name again because you donated. Hey, I just wanted to say that your videos on your second channel have helped me out a great deal. Well, I'm glad I was able to help you. I haven't made a video about feet yet, but when I do, I'll be sure to call you out specifically. Because I'm sure you would really, really enjoy that one. I think that falls under the fetish, so... Hero Grim. We're just yapping. Yeah, his OC does give Postura vibes. You'd have to ask to see if that was a inspiration. King, you're dying in the kitchen? Well, don't keep dying. Thanks, Livius. Yeah, I had to quit because Discord was too much for me, but yeah, I still like interacting with the streams. Yeah. The next video I'm going to do is a candles video because it's the co-directed video. But then the one after that is definitely planning on being a longer sex ed video. So maybe it'll be feet, maybe it'll be something else. Yeah. Yeah, it's not for everyone. Zindel? Is that how you say that? It's definitely not for everyone. It's not something I really get. But I can get it. When I'm actually drawing feet, you kind of start to understand it a little bit better. For some reason. I don't know why. I have drawn feet before. Echoes, you haven't been able to see the Patreon chats for some reason? Let me know if that's a reoccurring issue, because then I need to fix that. Ooh, like I said. Esteban, what's up? Didn't want to miss that. I need to move on to our next topic, but I'll still keep looking at the chat. Let me pull up. Pull up. That's not it. Ugh, I love and hate OBS. You need to be on the actual browser to get this to pull up. The window display. But here's something I wanted to do. Let's see, I think I can... Nope. Trying to get this set up to be exactly correct. There we go. So I can look at the movies, but also look at the chat at the same time. There we go, okay. I believe you guys can see this list of movies that I've got right now. Blue, what are you talking about? The Bridge of the Feet? No, I don't still work as a barista, Andrew. Who knows? I might have to get a real job here soon. Maybe I will. But I don't know. A barista was by far the best job. Actually, I talk about that a lot in the next video, so you're gonna have to wait a few days to hear me yap about that. But I'm gonna talk about... For this next little bit, I'm going to talk about the rest of the movies coming up in this year, and I'm going to see what's here and if there's anything I might be interested in. Because there are some movies coming out that we'll see. We'll see. A party drink? Bro, you're asking the wrong person. I don't like olives on pizza. Okay, here we go. I don't know any of these on screen right now. The Smashing Machine? That sounds like a sex ed video. Yo, I don't know who this guy... Oh wait, that's The Rock. That's literally The Rock. I was like, who is this? Bonehead. Sorry. But that's The Rock. That's the movie there where The Rock is like his serious role. That doesn't even look like The Rock, man. I didn't even recognize him at first. It's got a 7 out of 10 right now. Could be better. I'm not gonna lie. Ew, The Rock. Yeah, I don't like The Rock either. Good Boy. Yeah, is that like a furry movie? Oh, that's the one where like the... I don't want to watch this trailer. I'm going to get copyright strike. Right, it's the horror movie where the dog has to fight off the demon. That's a creative premise, but I'm not into horror. Like, not at all. I'm just not into that. Let's see, Coyotes. I'm only going to talk about things that I know. Tron Ares. Now, here's the thing. I know people love Tron. I've seen like 10 minutes of Tron Legacy, maybe. I haven't seen the original Tron, but this one has some good trailers. I'll say that. I can at least appreciate a movie with a good trailer, and this one does have that. No, Narfed, don't unsub. Come on. That's like a common thing. I didn't see the Frankenstein movie trailer, but that is one that I do want to check out because I love Del Toro. I don't know. Tron Ares, I've heard people say it's really good, and then other people say it's really bad. This is Disney's real first attempt at trying to appeal to young men, and I think that that's why they're marketing it so hard. I have no idea. You're skeptical, Adderall? I mean, yeah, I am cautiously optimistic. It's Jared Leto, which is, I don't know. This, not to sound like the critical drinker here, but I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a second. But this is Disney trying to, like, boys, you like Tron, you know what I mean? But it's clear that in the trailer, the main protagonist isn't a guy. And this is Disney we're talking about. So I would be shocked if there wasn't a, you know, you have it easy patriarchy kind of moment. And I hope not. I hope Disney's done with that, but I know they're not. Again, I don't want to sound like the critical drinker, but this stuff does happen. It's more so with Lucasfilm, where they have to tear down every guy for some reason. I just hope that this isn't one of those movies where it's very preachy. Ares, you don't even know how good you have it. You know what I mean? Like, can we just have a fun movie about light bikes? I don't know. I'm not one of those woke people. Woke Disney, blah, blah, blah. I'm not one of those people. I'm really not. But I am also of the opinion that this stuff does happen, even if it's slightly overblown by right-wing grifting YouTubers. This is a documented thing that is happening in Disney and Lucasfilm. So I'll just say that. I hope Tron Ares doesn't go that route. I hope it's just fun and that's it, but we'll see. I'm not anti-woke. I'm not anything. I'm just a normal person who likes movies occasionally, and I don't just ignore the messages they push. That's it. That's all I'll say. Fuck Princess Peach. Bro, I watched Toy Story 4. I can't believe that Bo Peep was like a strong woman. Ugh, I hate it. Ruby. I hope Ruby didn't just join because I sounded like the critical drinker there for a second. Sorry. Now my voice is getting raspy. Esteban, that's kind of where I am, honestly. You can be both progressive and anti-woke. Being woke is just being radical at this point, and it is, honestly. Just be a normal human being. You can care a little bit about things, but just don't do it for the grift. That's it. Yeah, that's it, honestly, punk rock gamer. You'd at least like for them to be accurate. Yeah. Their review of Superman really kind of revealed how much of grifting they are. Those guys probably don't actually care anymore what Hollywood does. But they have to have that opinion to make that money. That's the thing. Cookie Mage, we need more fun movies, no political messages. Honestly, I have to say I disagree a little bit, because yes, I know I did just say I just want a fun movie, but I do still think we can have political movies. I'm not sick of the movies, I'm sick of the people talking about the movies, I guess. Now, the Lucasfilm thing, yeah, that is kind of an actual problem, I think, but you can have a political movie, but have a little bit of nuance, right? I don't want to say nobody can have any conversation. That's something that I'm really worried about, is everybody always says no politics, no politics. Which I understand why. It's just so annoying to talk about, and it's so relevant. You don't want to talk about politics. But everybody's saying that over and over and over just gives people the propensity to never talk about politics. And when people stop talking about politics completely, then, yeah, Narfhead. People aren't going to vote. Nobody's going to care. And it's going to give the people in the government the green light to do whatever they want. Because it's not going to matter. Livius, you don't need to donate, bro. I appreciate it, though. You know I appreciate it. I mean, aren't you already on the Patreon? Thank you for donating, though. You guys really don't need to do that. But yeah. Yeah. Star Wars got the worst of it. It really did. No, you're good, Cookie Mage. I'm not... Yeah, like I said, you said that probably because of the thing I said, where, like, I just want fun movies, and you're right. There are days where I wake up and I think, I just want fun movies. But I also, as a general sense, am worried about everybody claiming no politics. Because then nothing ever gets changed, you know? Unfortunately, you have to engage with politics a little bit to be able to do anything. That's the thing, Rufus, you're right. The ultimate thing is that... Yeah, if the movie just needs to be fun and enjoyable to watch. It can be fun to watch and also have a message. It's just sad that those two things don't really seem... The Birdman? That name sounds familiar. I think I used to watch them. Are they like a movie reviewer? I believe I did used to watch them, though. You know what really scared me? I saw a graph a few days ago. This is unrelated to movies, but I saw something that said that the average salary for a college graduate is now equal to the average salary of somebody who didn't go to college. And that's wild to me. Just talking about graphs. That's got to be one of the most depressing graphs of all time. Anybody here in college, please finish college, but I wouldn't have gone. I wouldn't. If I could do it over again, I'm not going to go. Anyway, random tangent aside. Yeah, Petrichor, you're right. You're trying to immerse yourself, and then you're forcefully kicked out of it. That's the difference between The Last Jedi and Andor. The Last Jedi had a message of save the animals, but it came out of nowhere and it was so preachy. Andor is not only extremely relevant right now with censorship in the Empire, but it was so much more nuanced about it. It let the audience figure it out. You don't believe the salary thing? I'd have to find the actual graph, so yeah. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Keep going, D-Dash. It really just depends on your major. You know, again, the salary thing is not indicative of how successful you are. I'd still say that I'm somewhat successful, even if I'm not using my degree for anything. Keep going with it if you're in it. But if you haven't gone into college yet, think about it. Just take some time to think about it, because it's just not worth it for a lot of people anymore. Honestly. Okay. Let's keep going with these movies. I know Tron is coming out before the end of the year. I just don't know what else. Black Phone 2. I was working at the movie theater when Black Phone 1 came out, and people seem to like it, even if it's not my thing. There you go, Mijo. At least you have a plan, you know? Did you guys see that Disney made some really bad move about censorship? Like, immediately after they put out Andor Season 2, or they put out a post about Andor Season 2, and then they did like some massive censorship. So they look exactly like the Empire. Just really funny. People were talking about it a few days ago. Yeah. Punk Rock Gamer, you're an artist. What do you think I should do, Candles? It depends on what kind of artist. I would say going to college for an art degree is kind of a waste, even digital art, because there's nothing... Art is such an open-sourced skill. You can learn everything online and just by pure practice, that you don't need to spend the money for some egghead to tell you what rules you need to stay within when you do art. Music? Yeah, you don't need to go to college. I feel bad just saying that advice to you straight up, but I think you would do so much better if you just download GarageBand or whatever skill level you're at. If you're advanced, if you're a beginner, just do that, practice, watch Indian guys on YouTube make music with a trash can, you know what I mean? Learn on your own. You do not need to fork over all that money. If you get a free ride, go for it. If you have a plan to pay for housing, go for it. But if you're going into debt just to learn music at a college, it's not worth it, trust me. Even something like music history, which would be a class you take at college, you can Google that. There's a website called like Coursera, I think it is. There's several websites out there that offer you free online classes where it's just a professor making a video and telling you everything that you could learn in their class. Just watch that for free. I'm sure there's some things you could learn in college and there's some connections you can make in the music industry, but I interviewed a guy in college. I did a documentary about him. He made music for iShowSpeed, and all of his music was... I don't think he went to college. I think he just genuinely just made stuff in his basement, and that's how he got famous. A producer and an illustrator, that you might be able to justify college for a producer role. Yeah, anything film, I say you still don't need to, but there is a lot of technical knowledge that comes in with cameras. Not that music doesn't have technical knowledge, but if you want to make really popular music, you don't need anything. You just need SoundCloud and a microphone. But if you want to make really professional popular movies, you need that $10,000 Blackmagic camera. The music industry is very cutthroat, even more than the film industry, I'd say. Every class I've taken on digital media was just a regurgitation. It was either a regurgitation of stuff I already knew, or it was stuff that was so outside my abilities that I just tuned out. Honestly. Gen Z needs a voice. Right now, Gen Z's music voice is just half Taylor Swift, half sex. Oh, music producer. I don't know enough about music producing. I know about becoming a musician and making music, like on SoundCloud and whatever. But here's the thing about that I've learned recently. You can approach jobs two ways. I'm kind of getting sidetracked from the movies, but that's okay. This is a Yap stream. There's this eternal debate, this push and pull that I have and other creatives have of, do I want to make my creative hobby my job, or do I want to keep it a hobby? And it really depends on how scummy the industry is. That's the deciding factor. Music industry, scummy. Film industry, especially scummy. I was going through college learning film as the writer's strike was going on. And that just really put it into perspective. And you don't need, I don't know, right now, I used to think that I wanted to do this as a job. I wanted to edit videos for people in my local community. I wanted to freelance. I wanted to be my own boss. But right now, I'm just so burnt out on industry abuse and burnout and just dealing with really shitty people that I kind of just want to do what I do. Filmmaking, editing. I want to do what I do as a hobby and not for any money. I would love to have a job that I just don't mind going to every day and then doing YouTube for not money. Honestly. That might be the move. And the same might be true with music. Because you can always work on your side project in the background to keep you sane, but that hobby side project doesn't have any deadlines. You're not creatively stifled in any way. And when you're stifled, you don't make anything good. Music production legit is more tech degree than uni degree. Honestly, kind of, yeah. It is more of just a tech degree. You're absolutely right about that. That's true. I mean, that just shows I don't know a lot about music specifically, so don't listen to me about music. If you need to go, then you need to go. But I would at least find a college that isn't insanely expensive, because it's not worth it, in my opinion. Like an actual film editor in the industry is probably a really valuable skill. I just don't have the patience to deal with. I edited something for PBS once, actually PBS, and it wasn't paid, but that was one of the worst projects I ever had the privilege of working on. The person mediating it from PBS was just not great at communication. We felt like a complete afterthought. And then towards the end, we actually didn't get any updates on the project for an entire year. A full calendar year. No updates. No updates on if we were going to get credit for editing this thing, whatever. And then all of a sudden, he came to us like, where's the stuff? Where's the film? And we're like, dude, that was a year ago. The film, we don't have it anymore. Everybody who worked on the project is graduated. I don't know. Yeah, punk rock. Don't listen to me talking about music. I think I have decent takes on college, but music is a bit different. Just do your research. Esteban, yeah. I mean, he was nice at the start, but towards the end, after this entire year, a year of no, he didn't email like, hey guys, sorry it's been a while. Nothing like that. He just showed up out of nowhere and said, all right, where's the film? And this was PBS. You can't get more official documentary than that. And it was just we felt so swept under the rug, forgotten about. I don't know. I think I'm just burnt out on dealing with so many bad people. That might be it. It was legitimately an entire year. I didn't throw away the hard drive with all the footage on it because I'm like, I mean, he might say it. After like 9 months, I finally got rid of the footage because I'm like, it's 9 months. An entire pregnancy later, and no updates. It's obviously canceled. And then he showed up like, where's my footage? Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm so negative about college and the industry in general, is because I've just had so many bad experiences. Every single time. I can only think of one solid editing job that I did for somebody that went smoothly. There were no awkward hiccups or you know, having to bump up my price because they asked for something ridiculous. It's only ever happened once. And he was awesome. He was an auctioneer. He knew exactly what he wanted edited every single second of the video. He sent me all of the materials to use, and I turned it right around same day, and he paid me that day. God, I miss that guy. Yeah. Don't let my negativity stop you. I've just had too many bad experiences. I mean, I don't even know if I told you guys this. I fully animated a video. Fully animated. Which I've never done before, but I did it for this project. Took me months. Whoops. Hang on. Stream issues. Okay, I think we're good. Yeah, we're continuing to go now. I don't know how that's going to affect the stream, but this happened last time too, where it was like, oops, out of memory, and then it just... Yeah, I think we're okay though. I think it's just one continuous stream. Yeah. Oh, you guys are looking at my views right now. That's awesome. There we go. That's correct. Hopefully you didn't reveal any sensitive information there. I don't remember what I was saying. I think I was just talking about how everything sucks now. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you guys are still here. 0% drop frames. Let me just run through the rest of these real quick and give my quick opinions, because I want to get through this. Black Phone 2, haven't seen Black Phone 1, but heard some decent things about it. Chainsaw Man, anime fans out there. Shelby Oaks, I didn't know that was coming out this year. I mean, I knew he was starting to do his marketing stuff for it. Shelby Oaks, oh, excuse me, God, sorry. Just burped right into my microphone. Shelby Oaks was that Chris Stuckman film, and it's finally coming out, which is awesome. Oh yeah, thank you, Petrichor. I was talking about how I made a whole ass animated video. I do want to finish that story real quick. I animated this entire video, which I can actually probably show it to you guys if I find it somewhere. I animated this video for him about bats and how they echolocate, and it took me months. And I did this through the actual university that I went to itself. Very official, you know? Had to sign all of these documents and NDAs and whatnot. And those motherfuckers never paid me. This is an actual, honest-to-God university, and I never got paid. I got time for me to get paid. I finished it, and they're like, oh, you never signed document 27. So we actually can't pay you, but we'll take what you made for us. Thanks. And it was just, oh, dude, both PBS and the university that I was going to and currently going to both screwed me over. So you're starting to understand why I just hate this entire fucking industry. It's so bad. Nobody gets any respect. If you can even get experience, which I was lucky to get those projects, they both screwed me over completely. T-Can, thanks for the dono. At least your donation is a light in this bleak-ass rant that I'm going on right now. Oh my god. I don't want to call out the specific university because public information and all that, but it's in Ohio. I still can't believe that they screwed me over that hard. To be fair, the guy who was mediating it between me and the university, he was trying to fight for me. He was a good dude, but I just told him, you know what? Fucking forget it. It's embarrassing that the university has to do has to try and do this. Cheat me out of $200 or whatever I agreed to be paid. I mean, I did it on the cheap for an entire animated thing. Yeah. I signed all the documents saying I would be paid, and then at the end they're like, you didn't sign blah blah blah. Actually, the specific wording they used was, we don't have time for this kid. And after that, I was like, dude, I appreciate you trying to fight for my money, but just fucking forget it. Lose my number. Yeah. Even my parents were like, you could fight it. And I just said, nope, not doing it. Which is not like me, but I was just so upset at that point. I think that was the turning point where I knew that I wasn't going to do this for my job. The video was only like, I mean, it was like a minute or so, but fully animated with sound effects and voiceover. A minute is a long time. Let me see if I can... Let me actually... Yeah, you guys don't need to see my analytics. Good thing I don't have the money pulled up on here. The thing that tells you how much money you made per video. I think it's way back on my channel somewhere. I don't know if he actually used the video in his project, but I believe he did. It's 3 minutes long. Dude. Can I pull this up? Vegetation can... Ooh, that voiceover sucks. Ooh, okay. Well, maybe that's why they didn't use it, because I credited my YouTube channel, which was about sex, short after that. Okay, I have to remember to stop this video at the 2:30 mark. But I can show this video, I think. Oh, hey Windows, what's up? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I should show this or not, because it has my name in it. It's private. Maybe I'll screen record it, and then I'll cut out my name, and I'll post that. That's probably what I'll do later. I don't want to accidentally dox myself again. Ooh, that was close. But yeah, I forgot that it was nearly 3 minutes long. Hey MD, almost accidentally doxed myself again. But I didn't. I'm pretty sure I did not. Ooh, Spirit Halloween. That's yeah, maybe I'll post it in the Patreon. Well, I'm not going to censor the name. I'm going to completely cut off the screen that has my name on it. I'll just cut it out. Cookie Mage, thank you for being here. We've been going an hour 10. I don't know how much longer we're going to go for, but maybe this is the part of the video where I say anything else you guys want me to talk about specifically. Yeah. Spirit Halloween, punk rock, that would be a temporary position, right? But it is good that you got a job. Chris, if you want to make something for the streams, we can talk in the Patreon. I'm not really looking for anything in terms of music right now, but I'd be open to hearing it, you know? Because right now I would want to pay you, and I can't afford it right now, but maybe one of these days. Golden Cigar, any tips for upcoming editors? Video editor? I will check that out, Mijo. I need to. Golden, if you're talking about video editing, learn DaVinci. You should learn Premiere if you can get like a free trial or something. Learn it in case a job that you want to apply for requires it. But for your main stuff, use DaVinci. It's a one-time payment for the premium version. It's much, much better. You can do it much, much faster than Premiere. It feels like a program that is just lighter and airier. It cuts out a lot of the BS that nobody ever uses in Premiere. I do still use Adobe Audition though. The parts of DaVinci that are more difficult are the audio and After Effects parts of DaVinci that I haven't learned yet. But the actual main video editing is pretty easy. DaVinci is free, but if you want to get some of the more helpful features, you have to pay for premium one time. You can hear Markiplier talk about it. He talks about DaVinci and Blackmagic a lot. If you're just doing really basic editing and you're not too worried about speed, then yes, you can just get the free version. But premium has a couple extra effects that are really nice. It also has a truncate audio feature, but it's really bad. That's the main reason I got premium. Truncate audio is like really useful for video editing, where it takes one long stretch of voiceover and cuts out all the dead spaces and puts cuts where each time it cut was. Should be a simple thing to program, but it seems like no editing software can get it exactly correct. But one that does is Audacity, and that shit is free, I'm pretty sure. And they have truncate silence, and it works 99% of the time. Petrichor, I'm not familiar with James Lee. I'll have to look into that. Kden Live, I don't even know that one. Yeah, truncate audio is in Audacity, and it's really, really useful for editing my video specifically. Where, I don't know if you guys know, but when I edit audio, I have to edit every single sentence, half sentence that I say, and I have to time it out perfectly. And it takes a while. Truncating it all manually, God, that used to take me hours back in the day. It still takes me hours. But instead of taking me 7, it takes 6. So really not that big of a time save. But I would, if you're a video editor starting out, definitely learn DaVinci. What else? I would say ask people if they need anything edited. Once you get good enough to be confident that you could do something decent, reach out on Facebook, anybody in your family putting together. If you know somebody that just got married, you could just say, hey, I'm trying to get experience. If you send me all your wedding photos, I'll make a video for free. You know? Who's gonna say no to that? Like, it could be easy stuff like that that you can then put on your resume. You don't need to wait for someone to come along with a job. You can invent one if you need to build your resume. I did that all the time. I need experience, so I invented a project, did it, and then called it experience. If I was building my resume as a video editor, just starting out, I would learn DaVinci, and I would make a 1-hour video about something that sounds smart and sophisticated, like, I don't know, dinosaurs. And then or bat echolocation, you know? I'd make an hour-long video on it, and then I'd say, project, bat echolocation, purpose for my own research in school. I don't know. And then you can put that on your resume, and it looks really nice. And you just completely invented it yourself. Like, there's lots of creative things you can do when you're trying to build your resume. You got a turbo pump. That's pretty cool. Good luck with that. multi-hour long videos, 7+ hours. Good lord. If I made a 7-hour video, it would be the Half-Life 7-hour war in real time. But that would take me months to make. A 45-minute video took me a week. Actually, more than a week. So it takes a lot. I've been pumping videos out like 1 or 2 every week. So I'm not that slow with it. But yeah. I'm sure somebody has done that before. 7-hour war in real time. That sounds gas, actually. That would be peak. And I just wanted to say, movie review? You could do a movie review. That might be a little bit more difficult to make it look really official on the resume. Because a movie review is, someone's going to look at it and be like, oh, you just made that for yourself. You're trying to trick me. You could still do it and put it on your resume. It's just not something that's going to look like a project that you did for somebody else. I'm not saying lie on your resume. Here's how I would phrase it. I would make a movie review. I would make it very serious. Spend time writing the review to be very technical. Talk about the lighting, maybe some of the camera shots that they used, wide shot lens, and blah, 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 stuff like that. Even if you have to research that stuff, put that in the review, and then you could put it on your resume and say, like, I made this video, I edited this project for myself to teach myself camera lens. That is really attractive. That tells the employer that you're a go-getter, you're a self-starter. I think you can do it for a movie review. I would just pick a movie that is very, like, film bro. You know what I mean? I watched Citizen Kane. I watched The Dark Knight. I watched Eraserhead. Editors do the portfolio thing, but it's a bit harder because if I edit a movie, I can't just include the movie on my portfolio, you know? There's like rights and stuff. But that's why they have movie credits, I guess. You want to do the Cat in the Hat movie review? The animated one? That movie's stylized. You could talk about... Or no, you're not talking about the new one. You're talking about the live action one. You could... No, you could. Honestly, yeah, I'm going to stop myself from saying no. Because you can do that and make it look professional. In any case, if your employer asks, what was this project? You just have to get really good at explaining it. Resume stuff. Yeah. No, that is something I probably wouldn't put on my resume, a review of Cat in the Hat, but it's not impossible. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. I just mean it's better for stuff like if I edited... I don't know if Mijo, if you're still in here, but he's editing a real-time 9/11 video of all the events, scrambling the jets, all that stuff. And it's like a 10-hour video. That is something that would really impress an employer. Being like, oh, you really took the time to gather materials, to do the proper research, to blah, blah, blah. How do you handle a topic that is serious, like 9/11? Something like that. That's the thing, Bunny. It would be a challenge to make it professional looking. Anything sounds legitimate with enough riz. All Quiet on the Western Front, that's a film bro movie. You could do that one. That one especially has... That's a really dark movie. Yeah. Yeah, that would get some serious tones across. Because unfortunately, people who look to hire video editors look for ultra professional, I edited you know, kind of stuff like that. Stuff like, I made a Lego Batman YouTube poop isn't gonna fly on a resume. Punk rock, it depends on what you think of Thing 1 and Thing 2. If you can stomach looking at Thing 1 and Thing 2 for more than 5 seconds in that movie, then you're screwed up in the head. Chat, is this Riz? I don't have Riz. Actually, I have cursed Riz, which is like, I only have Riz around girls that I only see as friends. If I have a girl that's just a friend and I have no romantic interest in, suddenly they have a crush on me, and I have to turn them down. But that hasn't happened in a while. I think if that happened nowadays, I'd be desperate enough to be like, okay. Coretta has Riz. Yeah, Coretta's definitely got Riz, not me. Yeah, who in here likes the Jim Carrey Grinch movie? Because that one really... Oh, I hate that movie. I'm sorry. I know it's a beloved classic and whatever, but Jim Carrey Grinch really creeps me the F out. There's some funny moments in that movie, but the scene where they're feeding him pudding and he's being like force-fed and it looks like Mpreg with his belly, like... It's that movie, that scene scarred me from that movie. If you haven't seen that movie, what I just described sounds horrifying. Yeah, it's prosthetics, but it's like, no, I don't want to see Grinch Mpreg. Dude, duck, sorry. I was just talking about how much I hate Jim Carrey Grinch. Yeah, like you grew up with it, great, nostalgia. But, come on, can we get some new Christmas movies, by the way? You've got the same ones every single freaking year. You've got Elf, which is a good movie, I'll give it that. But you've also got Jim Carrey Grinch. You've got Christmas Story. I'm not gonna say Die Hard. I'm not gonna say the meme. What other Christmas movies are there? The Polar Express. Red One? Hell no. Nightmare Before Christmas. That's more of a Halloween movie. Batman Returns. Okay, now we're just getting silly. What are these recommendations? Terrifier 3? Stupid AI Google. Here's a Christmas movie. No. The Santa Claus. That one's decent. Krampus? Yakuza? Get out of here. You guys are all banned. Arthur Christmas? Okay, I'll give it that one. Arthur Christmas. The Dawko movie? Yeah. Dude, Arthur Christmas looks so much like Dawko. Have you guys noticed that? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Miracle on 34th Street. Boomer. Boomer alert. No, if you're a boomer, please stay. Rudolph. Yeah, all the animated ones. Rudolph. What's this? Scrooged? I don't know this movie. 1988? Bill Murray? Bad Santa? No. Gremlins? I'm a defender of Gremlins. Gremlins is a weird-ass movie. I know it contradicts what I said about the Grinch, weird Mpreg stuff, but Gremlins is a movie that is really creative. That's a Spielberg original, I believe. And there's some good Christmas vibes in that movie. I haven't seen it in forever, though. Yeah, that's a stretch, Mijo. If Die Hard is a Christmas film because it takes place during the holidays, then Lord of the Rings is a Christmas film because it has elves in it. I can see what you're saying there. Gremlins is not a Christmas movie, but it takes place during Christmas, really. I mean, it kind of is a Christmas movie because the gremlin is the Christmas present, so... God, that movie would go hard on like a CRTV with film grain and everything. Gremlins is a good movie. Who here has not seen Gremlins? You need to get on that shit immediately. Daddy's Home? Yeah, that's funny. Christmas with the Cranks? Home Alone. That's the one I forgot about. Yeah. Home Alone. Home Alone's a good... Home Alone... How can you hate that movie? That movie's just so... wholesome. The reality of Home Alone is terrifying, but... that's just a good-ass movie. Honestly. Have a good night, Esteban. You're not watching Gremlins? F. You gotta get on that. Klaus? One of the Home Alones has got ScarJo in it when she's like really young. I don't remember which one though. Christmas with the Cranks, I know from the JonTron video, and it's the funniest concept for a Christmas movie because the whole idea of Christmas with the Cranks is that they hate Christmas and they want to get away from it. And their entire town treats Christmas like a cult. And it is a really funny premise for a that kind of movie, but like a Christmas movie. I haven't seen the whole thing though. Dude, we need a FNAF game. We need a FNAF game that the gameplay loop is like Home Alone, where Chica's walking around and you put down like Hot Wheels cars. We need a Christmas FNAF game. The next FNAF game hasn't been announced yet, but this is what it needs to be. It needs to be Five Nights at... What's the kid's name? What's the Home Alone kid's name? Kevin McAllister. Five Nights at Kevin's. And it's... No, actually, you would be Kevin. And you are the one... You're the security guard setting fire to Freddy's head. Rise of the Guardians, that's a Christmas movie. That movie's kind of weird. Bessie wants a FNAF game where they marry Roxanne Wolf. Yeah. Hell yeah. I want that game. I've really been wanting to do a video like my ideas for FNAF games. Because I came up with some really pretty good ideas for a FNAF game set in this part of the timeline. I just think that would be really fun. Maybe I want to do it on the main channel though and make it like a really good video. The FNAF videos don't do that well, but maybe that one could do okay. I don't know. The brother of Kevin is Wallace Wells from Scott Pilgrim. Never seen Scott Pilgrim. I know. That's a tragedy, but I've never seen it. That's just one of those movies that every film bro talks about, and the more I hear about it, the less I want to watch it. Pizzazium 2. I did do a FNAF tier list. It was a Patreon-only video, but at some point, I'll release the Patreon-only videos just because they're just kind of sitting there collecting dust now. Since those aren't really a benefit anymore for the main Patreon people. Maybe on Christmas. As a Christmas present, I'll make all of my old Patreon videos public, just for the hell of it. Mr. Rosa, thank you for being here. I don't know how much longer we're going to go, so you might need to scrub back and watch from the beginning. But we are kind of winding it down here. There is an edit of the FNAF movie where it is Matthew Lillard. I think it might be the Scream Matthew Lillard, where he's like, "Zoink, Scoob." Or, no, he wouldn't be saying that in Scream, but you know what I mean. Yeah. I forgot I have this picture still up here. This picture has been all around the Patreon and the stream thumbnail. It's from the next video. It's this really good edit. I can't wait for you to see it. But I paused on this frame during editing, and I thought it was so funny that I have to use it somewhere. So, you're welcome. Here's the motherfucking tea. This is a FNAF jump scare. Actually, this would make a pretty decent FNAF jump scare, wouldn't it? Because it's like so close. She's looking directly at you. I can just see this. Damn. Five Nights at Tea girl. I need a button that whenever this image comes up, it like plays the FNAF jump scare sound. Come on, PS1 Creeper. That was a while ago. Mpreg Grinch. That happens in the movie. I said it. I mean, it does happen. White woman jump scare. This is the quintessential white woman jump scare, isn't it? Actually, that's a thing with the next video. I looked back in editing, and almost all the memes are about white women. And I don't know why. But I'm going to get so many hate comments from white women. Now, the sister location jump scare is the scariest jump scare. Right? That's not just me. This is a good punishment image. I've been slacking on the punishment images, but you guys have been good lately, so I haven't needed to. I don't know what you're talking about, Punk Rock Gamer. Fazbear Frights? You mean like FNAF 3? Bah! That is a jump scare, isn't it? Okay. I'll answer any final questions here. Bloodbound, did you just get here? Because I'm just ending it. I am so sorry. This always happens. Every time I try to end the stream, somebody comes in like, "Hey, just joined." You may have to rewind a bit. But what's up? Yeah. I'll give it like 5 more minutes, winding down. Any final questions for me? Any final topics we can get out? Any ideas for next week's stream? Thank you for doing that. And thank you for all the people who donated this stream. I really didn't expect it. Oh, I have seen Knights of Guinevere. Okay. That is a really good... Actually, let me pull up... One of my favorite pieces of fan art recently has been from Bug Babbler on Discord. No longer on Discord, I am. I'm not. Yoda. But has a really good piece of fan art for Knights of Guinevere. I thought about making this the outfit, actually, for that video that came out right after Knights of Guinevere came out. I really enjoyed it. It took me a minute to really get used to the main characters. But I really like it, yeah. There's a lot of good lore. The reason I was skeptical is because, well, I like Glitch, yeah, obviously, but Dana Terrace, she did Star Versus, and there's some drama about that show that makes it kind of like, but a lot of that was Disney. Don't clip that sound, by the way. Star Versus used to be my favorite show once upon a time, and then it really fell off. So Dana Terrace being attached makes me a little bit wary of it, but I'd like to see how it goes. It's a good pilot. The end of the pilot especially is really cool. There's just like a really cool animation. I like how it's a takedown of Disney. That's fair, Chew. You'll have to see more, you're not hooked in yet. For a pilot, it could have done a bit more to hook people in. The main characters were a bit surface level, in my opinion. The actual girl, the robot character, didn't do that much. But, you know. Yeah, we talking about Glitch? Wait a minute. Who did I say did... Wait a minute, who made Knights of Guinevere? Hang on, is that Owl House person? I might have the... Darren Nefsey is... Star Versus. I'm an idiot. Oh my god. Never mind, okay. I retract what I said. Dana Terrace is Owl House, not Star Versus. Star Versus was Darren Nefsey. And she had some controversial stuff about Starco and all that. If you haven't seen Star Versus, it was a good show. It was kind of like a Gravity Falls successor. And then it got really weird. The main characters, which were platonic, Star and Marco, really good chemistry, platonic friends. But then people started shipping them, and so did the show's creator. And then they forced them together in really bad writing. And it just felt weird. It felt like Darren Nefsey was turned the show into her own personal fanfiction. And it got really bizarre and gross. Because these kids were minors. They were kids. And some stuff was happening and it just got weird. Oh my god. I forgot they freaking aged up Marco. Dude, yeah. If you haven't seen this show, literally, the main character, who is a minor, he can go into this dimension where he's like 40. And so his mental age is like 40. And then, literally, he still got together with the teenage girl in the end. Even though his mental age is of a 40-year-old man. And it's so weird. Because after that episode, I couldn't not see him and Hekapoo being like a couple. And it was so bizarre because he was a little kid too. So either way you look at the situation is so weird. Yeah. And also the show ended with mass genocide. And that was like the main character was like, yep, I did that. Yeah. And killing Toffee was such a huge mistake. God, hang on, let me pull up Toffee. Now you've got me on a Star Versus rant. I could yap for hours about Star Versus. I gotta do a rewatch of this show. Not because I miss it, but because the fall off is incredible. And Toffee was cool, man. They totally ruined it. Toffee was this really badass lizard villain that his introduction in season 1 in the finale was so good. I think I have a video on my channel right now about Storm the Castle. You just got to the stream, we're talking about Star versus the Forces of Evil. Remember that show? Bro. Hekapoo? Don't even get me started, bro. I'm not even kidding. I've seen way too much fan art of Hekapoo. Get off my back. No, Toffee was cool. Really good design. Amazing voice. God damn his voice. Yeah. Yeah, no spoilers in the chat in case somebody actually wants to watch it. Seasons 1 through 3 are genuinely a great show. Really enjoyable stuff. And then season 4 is just shit the bed. Yeah. Season 1 Toffee was so awesome. And season 2 got into the shipping stuff a little bit more. Bon Bon, the birthday clown, was probably the peak of Star Versus. Yeah, Hekapoo is the best. God, why haven't I done a Hekapoo outfit yet? I need to. Okay, that comment's getting pinned for the 5 minutes left we have in this stream. G-Man Fursona. That is hilarious. Honestly, yeah. Now you gotta watch Star Versus. And there's some actually good commentary on like colonialism in the first season. It touched on heavy topics. But if you don't know, it came out after the show ended that there was no lore keeper for the show. There was no plan for the story. They just made it up as they went along. And it became obvious once they did a Q&A stream and all of these creators gave different answers for the lore. And there's a video by somebody. I need to find it. It's called like The Downfall of Star Versus or something. Really good video. Hilarious video too. It's just this guy watching and reacting to every episode. And it's like a supercut of everything progressively getting worse. Blue Order is his name. Really good video about what went wrong with Star Versus. I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, no, they had no idea what the lore was. Starco was such a mess. Yeah, it's really bad that they didn't have a plan. For a show like this, not having a plan, it's like if Gravity Falls ended with, like, Roadside Attraction. It's like, what? What do you mean that there's no plan here? There's no ending? God. Adventure Time does have a lore Bible, I'm pretty sure. The lore of Adventure Time is... There's a lot of unanswered questions about Adventure Time. Ooh, God, I could explain the Adventure Time lore. God, why can't I... I should do that. Screw the FNAF lore. Everyone knows that one. The Adventure Time lore? I could really educate you on the Adventure Time lore. And it's one that people generally don't know. You have to be a super fan to know the Adventure Time lore. Gravity Falls was a plan from the beginning. Yeah, that was the benefit. That's why Gravity Falls is so fondly remembered. Fiona and Cake Season 2? I don't know, is it coming out this October? The trailer is, I think. Fiona and Cake Season 1 was peak. That was peak. I won't educate you completely right now because I'm about to end the stream. Honestly. Because I gotta get to bed. But yeah, let's get copyright strike on this stream right now. I should do a Adventure Time. Candles explains the Adventure Time lore off rip video. Basically, Adventure Time, the Lich was created before anything else, along with a bunch of other monsters and Golb. And Golb is like the embodiment of death. Also, Princess Bubblegum used to be like low-key like a murderer and really bad and really morally gray. The 4 elementals get reincarnated every 1,000 years. There's a lot that goes into the Adventure Time lore, seriously. And a lot of this only happens in like the last season. Fiona and Cake is gas. Yeah. And Adventure Time is funny in the early seasons. It's more funny than like lore heavy. But then on later seasons, it's still good, but it's less funny and more about like life lessons with Jake and having a more serious world building. Yeah, Adventure Time is peak. Seriously. Get into it. Okay. That was a really good ending, honestly. End the stream talking about Adventure Time lore and Star Versus. I need to just explain the Adventure Time lore. Seriously. Maybe that'll be the next stream. Caesarean, you dipped in right before the ending. You don't like that the last seasons got darker? Love you, me, Joe. Good night. Yeah. That is weird that you don't like that the last seasons got darker, but we are just leaving, Vincent. Apologies. Yeah, I'm actually winding it down now. I'm winding it down. Is there a way that I can see super chats? There we go. Let me go through the super chats real quick, just so I can give them one final thank you. Andrew Bot, thank you for 25 PLNs. I don't know what that is. Chu Chan Chell, $10. Ape Thunder with 5. Adderall with 10. Fan of Feet 2 with 5. Livius with 5. And T Kane with $5.99. Thank you guys for donating. You did not need to do that, but I appreciate it always. Yep, good night, everybody.